Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Jinger Duggar remembers crying when a close friend started wearing pants. I was brokenhearted. Before Jinger Duggar began wearing pants herself, she had a hard time seeing her friends make the switch. The Counting on alum, 31, and her husband, Jeremy Volo, were joined by her sister Joy-Anna Duggar on the Wednesday, April 16 episode of the Jinger and Jeremy podcast to discuss the Duggar family's headline-making modesty practices. Jinger and her siblings were raised in an ultra-conservative Christian household and followed strict rules, one of which included women and girls wearing skirts and dressing modestly. Volo, 37, pointed out that while the family's beliefs seemed like another world to those on the outside, many people in the Duggars community followed similar guidelines. For you to do anything other than that was like a bombshell, he said. Jinger agreed that it was so normal for her and her sisters and even their mom, Michelle Duggar, to dress modestly. You kind of start to not think twice about it until you are surrounded with other people who are conducting their lives differently. And then that's something where you start to think more about, oh, why do I do what I do? She added. Every time a Duggar child broke their family rules. Jinger wearing pants and beyond. Joy-Anna, 27, noted that there were also people in their lives that branched out from the modest uniform earlier on. To me, it was a big deal when somebody that always wore skirts started wearing pants, she said. Then I was like, oh well, they know better. That was my attitude behind it at the time. Her sister felt similarly. I remember when a couple close friends started wearing pants and I was like so brokenhearted over it, Jinger recalled. I remember crying over one friend just thinking, why are they doing that? Without even asking or hearing them out as to why. While Jinger has been wearing pants for some time, Joy-Anna revealed that she only took the leap 2 years ago. Her husband, Austin Forsyth, and their children played a role in the decision. We wanted to know 100%, is this something we're okay with for our family, she explained. Joy-Anna went on to assure fans that she has no problem with the way she and her siblings were raised. Nothing held me back, she said. If I wanted to ride a bike, if I wanted to do anything, I could. I don't have any regrets, like, oh man, that was horrible. I know everybody's different. But for me, wearing pants wasn't that big of a pressure, I guess. She added that Forsyth, whom she wed in 2017, wants her to wear whatever she's comfortable with. 19 kids and counting alum, Jinger Duggar recalls first time she told her parents she wears pants. Jinger, meanwhile, has been outspoken about her own fashion choices since releasing her 2021 memoir, The Hope We Hold. Modesty was a huge topic in our house, and we believed that wearing skirts instead of pants was a central part of being modest. But I wanted to discover for myself what the Bible had to say, she wrote at the time, revealing that she came to believe modesty wasn't only about what you wear, but was also about the position of your heart. In her book, Jinger noted that she didn't want to hurt her family with her new approach. Last year, she recalled the first time she told her parents about wearing pants. I think the big thing is just because we are in the public eye, I knew that there was going to be so much that would blow up, she said on the Unplanned podcast. If it's a paparazzi photo while we are out that's taken, let's just be ready for it. I'm just gonna tell them, and then that way they know, and they know it came from a heart of, hey, this is what I feel convicted of or don't anymore. And they can just know from my heart, and then we'll move on. Counting on alums Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar have been celebrating new grandkids and pregnancies in the family over the past few months. Michelle recently flew to California to welcome Jinger's third child, a baby boy named Finnegan. There are currently 2 known pregnancies in the family. But some fans think Jinger may have accidentally leaked a possible third Duggar grandbaby. Keep reading to see the discussion. Counting on who are expecting in the Duggar family today. Jessa surprised many fans last March after revealing that she's pregnant. She uploaded a photo of her ultrasound with a caption halfway to "holding you in our arms." This confirms that the counting on alum has kept her pregnancy a secret for quite some time, which may also explain her unusual absence from the cameras. Jinger Duggar isn't mad at parents for raising family in IBLP. They did their best. Jinger Duggar is sharing how she really feels about being raised under the fundamentalist Christian teachings of the Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP organization. During the Wednesday, February 12th, episode of the Jinger and Jeremy podcast, the former TLC star and her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, answered frequently asked questions from fans. Are you angry at your parents Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar for leading you to follow the Institute of Basic Life Principles? Vuolo, 37, asked his wife. Jinger, 31, wasted no time replying. No, she said. And I can say that very clearly because I see how so many families wanted the guarantee for success for their kids. They were promised it, and they said, if you do this, your kids will turn out. And so I think that a lot of parents who walked into IBLP, they were well-meaning. Jinger Duggar's honest quotes about her upbringing, cult comparisons, modest dressing, and more. Jinger acknowledged that there will be challenges and struggles that I face because of the way she was raised. It's not always easy, and looking at it as a parent now, I can see how easy it was for my parents to get wrapped up in that teaching, she continued. They went into it thinking this is how we're going to teach our kids to love Jesus, and who doesn't want that? According to Jinger, many families ended up not seeing the success that was promised by IBLP and its founder, the controversial minister Bill Gothard. And that's what's heartbreaking, she explained. Because as a parent, you want to make the best decisions, pray through what you're supposed to do. And I really believe my parents sought to do that for us kids. I don't have any anger toward them for it because, I just see that they did their best. They did what they thought was right in the moment. Jinger and her 18 siblings grew up following Gothard's teachings, which included homeschooling and dressing modestly. In an exclusive interview with Us Weekly, Jinger previously described her upbringing as cult-like in many ways. It was built on fear, manipulation, control, and superstition. So all those things combined in how hard it is for kids to leave or adults to leave anyone, really. Once you hear the teachings, you're not supposed to depart from those, she told us in January 2023. Jinger recalled feeling gripped with fear when she was younger. I'd be thinking, okay, am I pleasing to God? I don't know what God expects of me. And so I would be so terrified to, even go play sports with my siblings. I'd think, maybe I'm supposed to stay home and read my Bible for hours and hours. I'm not sure, she continued. So that kind of fear did cripple me. Jinger Duggar says her relationship with parents is not perfect, but she still loves them. The counting on alum reflected on her childhood further in her books, Becoming Free Indeed and People Pleaser, the latter of which was released this year. She referred to IBLP as a form of Fox Christianity that was all built on the appearance of holiness, writing in People Pleaser, if you messed up in that setting, you were at risk for losing your community by not living up to the Gothard standards. Jinger isn't the only Duggar to distance herself from the IBLP lifestyle. Her sister Jill Duggar has also been candid about leaving the ultra-conservative practice behind and about her strained relationship with Jim Bob, 59, and Michelle, 58. Jinger, however, has insisted that she feels grateful for the upbringing she had. It was not perfect, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful for my parents, Jinger said on the Unplanned podcast in June 2024. I love them. We have differences. Everything's not perfect between us. But I think that at the end of the day, I love them, and I know that they know that. Jinger Duggar makes rare comment about felon brother Josh Duggar, very bad decisions. Jinger Duggar made a rare public comment about her incarcerated brother Josh Duggar during a recent podcast appearance. The Counting on Alum was a guest on the February 27 episode of the Deep End with Lecrae podcast. She opened up about growing up in a family that followed the tenets of the Ultra-Conservative Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP. She also spoke about how she began to reevaluate those beliefs when Josh was arrested for possessing material depicting child sexual abuse. During her chat with host Grammy winner Lecrae Moore, Jinger discussed filming her family's TLC reality show 19 Kids and Counting, and how her parents viewed the show as an opportunity to spread their religious beliefs to a wider audience. "We held to this teacher as a prophet sent from God," she explained, referencing disgraced IBLP leader Bill Gothard and the cult-like environment in which she was raised. Counting on Jason Duggar shares rules he broke with Maddie. Counting on alums Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar have raised their children under strict conservative rules. All of them were also homeschooled and lived their lives under the IBLP's teachings. Jim Bob and Michelle also made their kids follow strict courtship rules. However, some of them began to step away from the rules, especially Jason and Mad. Keep reading to see his statements regarding the rules he and his wife broke. Counting on, what are the Duggar family's courtship rules? There are several courtship rules that the Duggar kids should follow, especially when they were still filming for the show, Counting On. One of them is purposeful dating, which includes chaperones. Jim Bob and Michelle also don't allow physical affection for courting couples. Most of the married couples have also revealed that their first kiss was during their wedding. Family should always be involved in courtship as well. However, Jason recently shared that he and Maddie had defied some rules when they were still courting. Jason shares rules he broke with Maddie. Jason Duggar recently uploaded a Q and a vlog where he shared shocking details about his courtship with Maddie. According to the Counting On alum, they never had a chaperone while they were dating. Maddie chimed in and said they tried to use wisdom, but they were both adults and had their own convictions. She added, "And I think it's up to us in between our relationship to hold each other accountable to the boundaries that we do set." Jason then confirmed that he and Maddie had already kissed before the wedding. He admitted that it was against the family's courtship rules. But for him and Maddie, it wasn't the conviction they had. Jason added that he loves his parents, but it's a new rule that he and Maddie set for themselves when they were still dating. He continued, "And it was something we were okay with. Counting on, are Jason and Maddie Grace having a child?" Jason and Maddie Grace Duggar are currently not expecting a child. It also appears that the two are not planning to start a family at this point. Last November, some Counting On fans saw Maddie's interaction with a follower on social media, making predictions that she's pregnant by December 2024. She commented, thankfully not implying that she's not looking forward to having a child early in her marriage. Some fans were also surprised by Maddie's comment, as she may be the first daughter-in-law of Jim Bob and Michelle, who is not looking to have as many children as she could. Jason Duggar and wife Maddie reveal major courtship rule they broke before marriage. Counting On star Jason Duggar and his wife, Maddie, recently revealed a major courtship rule they broke before marriage. On October 3, Jason, 25, and Maddie, 21, said "I do" in a fall-themed Tennessee wedding, but as it turns out, the 12th born child of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar opted out of courting altogether and instead went the traditional dating route. "We dated Jason," revealed in an April 25 video published on his and Maddie's joint YouTube channel. "We didn't have a chaperone or anything. We did always try to be wise." Maddie explained, "We tried to use wisdom, but we're both adults also, and we have our own convictions. And I think it's up to us in between our relationship to hold each other accountable to the boundaries that we do set." That's when the newlyweds made their bold admission. Unlike Jason's siblings, as far as they've publicly shared, Jason and Maddie kissed before their wedding day. So the question everyone's been waiting for: did we kiss before our wedding day? Maddie said during the Q and a video. "We did," Jason shared. "Growing up in my family, that was against the rules. But for Maddie and I, that's not a conviction that we have, Jason said. However, the former TLC reality star clarified, "I love my parents, / I think they're great people. But it's a rule that we set for ourselves and our relationship through dating and engagement, and it was something we were okay with." Unlike the Duggar siblings, who were homeschooled, grew up in a family with 19 kids, and were raised under the Institute for Basic Life Principles, IVLP Maddie went to public school, only has one brother, and noted that kissing was not against the rules. "I mean, it wasn't encouraged to go out and kiss everyone. It was special," she shared. "But it wasn't against the rules either. So we talked about it, and I was like, hey, I totally respect if you don't want to kiss until later on. So then I kissed you pretty quick thereafter," Jason confessed as they both laughed. It didn't last long. In other news, Maddie clarified that she is not pregnant. "No, I am very thankful," she said. "We are not expecting. We will tell you guys when we are expecting." In fact, Maddie said they don't want to have children for a while and declared absolutely not about having 19 kids of their own.